Okay, we're going to talk margin and we're going to talk selling put options. I'm going to go over how I like to do it. Doesn't mean that this is the best way to do it. This doesn't mean you should go watch this and then go immediately do it. Cardi B once said, I ain't telling y'all to do it, I'm just telling my story. This is what I like to do. So, I enabled margin in my account mostly so I can just sell put options and the margin can be the collateral so I don't have to just keep a bunch of cash sitting in my brokerage account uninvested, kind of sitting on the sidelines just in case I get assigned a contract. If you enable margin, what it allows you to do is place these contracts and you won't have to use any margin unless your contract expires, what they would say, in the money and you get assigned those shares. So basically, when you're selling a put option, there's two different ways. You can do a cash secured put, which means you have a bunch of just cash sitting in your account uninvested that will cover the 100 shares if you get assigned. Or you can do what they call a naked put, okay? Close off, naked put. This is what I do. I have it, the naked put allows you to open these contracts without having a bunch of cash sitting idly. And what it is we're going to look right here, options collateral. And then basically, you only get assigned margin if one of these contracts gets assigned. So at the moment, I have 52,920 in options collateral from these four options plays here, which are expiring 10/17 next Friday. And I had a comment on my video that said I didn't show my margin. I'm like, I can show my margin, but I've been fortunate. I've never had a put contract assigned to me, so I've never had to use any margin. Margin used, zero. I actually still have this first 1K interest free, which I want to use that at some point just because if I don't have to pay it back with interest, might as well. I'm just going to wait till there's like maybe a little bit of a market pullback so we can throw that into something. Annual rate. So, okay, cool. Here you can see the interest rate. So actually, when they cut the interest rates not that long ago, when Jerome Powell announced the rate cut, this was at like 5.75. So it dropped it to 5.5. So rate cuts, good for margin. So yeah, I've never actually had to use any margin or pay back any margin, but we can look at these positions real quick. And so I have main 54.7. Right now it's at 62.85. So if it closes at 54.7 or below on 10/17, I'll get assigned 100 shares of this. So that would be 5,470, and then that would be assigned to me as margin. So if that happens, I'd have a couple options. I could maybe, if it's close, I could maybe just try to wait it out and see if it doesn't rebound up above that, and then maybe it gets to like 55. I could sell it because I would have the 100 shares, and then selling it would allow me to clear that margin, and then if there's anything left over, I could keep that. That would just be leftover profit. If the share price is like pretty far below that, that's when it would get a little tricky. Then you could start selling covered calls on it, which would be because you'll be assigned 100 shares, so you'd have 100 shares. So you could start selling covered calls to bring some money in, and then just pay the margin down over time. You pay the margin down when you get dividends. You pay the margin down when you deposit money into your account. So I've never had to do that yet, but there would be some exit strategies just kind of depending on like the price, the situation. So that's why it's really key that if you're going to sell these put options, you're picking stuff that you wouldn't mind potentially holding on to for a while, depending on what the price does. So that's why I don't only sell it on positions I have, but all of these actually happen to be positions I have. So there's stuff I want to hold long term anyway. Let's real quick see how much money I got from these four options, just so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm looking at. I'm picking stuff that I don't think is going to expire in the money. Like, I want these contracts to always expire worthless. So I'm picking stuff that the price is far below the current price. I'm just trying to collect this money and run. So this one, I sold one contract $10. Throw this into my phone calculator here. So we got $10 going for this. And there is a little bit of a fee. It's like you get like $9.95, but we're going to do easy numbers here. We'll subtract the fee at the end. So now I sold 52.5. See, it's at like $60 right now. So it would have to come all the way down from 60 to 52.5 by the 17th in the next, in the next two trading weeks. So this one I got, so I opened 5 contracts, which would be 500 shares. So that would be, a pretty big commitment to pay back. But so 6 cents, 5 contracts, $30. So we're gonna add that to the 10. So 10 plus 30. So $40 in this round of options contracts so far. We got SCHD 26. Right now it's at 27.49. I mean, it could come down, and if it does, then I'd get assigned 600 shares at $26. Wouldn't be ideal, but I'd be getting a great price on SCHD, which I plan on holding. So I would be okay with it. Wouldn't be ideal, but I could live with it. Now this one, I did 6 contracts for 6, so that would 6 for 6, 36. We're gonna add that to the 40. So we made $76 in options premiums. And then last I have this one here, SCHG 28. Current price is up over 30. This one, 2 contracts, 5, 2 for 5, 10. So 86, and then like I said, there is a fee, so maybe that's more like 85.25, let's call it. So I made about $85 for opening these 4 positions. So this is the way that I like to use margin. I just sell these options contracts. I'm just trying to collect the money and run. I'm not saying it's the best way to do it, but it works for me. I like it. All right. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll try and answer them, but this is what I've been doing.